A snapshot of our planet today reveals this. We're running out of land and fresh water. Pollution and human-induced greenhouse gas emissions are threatening our atmosphere and waterways and negatively affecting our climate. Our oceans and sea life are being destroyed. We're losing habitat, ecosystems, and biodiversity with mass extinctions occurring at a rate that we haven't seen since the dinosaurs were lost 65 million years ago. Nearly 900 million people in the world today are suffering from hunger. 1/2 of our topsoil has been lost, with certain regions becoming completely desertified. All this while we witness escalating rates of emerging and chronic disease regarding our own human health. There are some scientists who predict that time is running out for us. We may only have 50 to 75 years, maybe at best 100 years remaining. These are researchers. They're not doomsdayers. I call all this global depletion, the loss of our primary resources on Earth, as well as our own health. It's still sustainability. I just think we need to hear it from a different direction, and I think we need to hear the whole story through an unfiltered lens. For me, the story is changing from one of needing to increase awareness to one of a time bomb that's ticking away. These are just some of the many timelines we're going to be discussing today and tomorrow. For instance, phosphorus and nitrogen balance is irreversibly altered today. Oceanic warming will continue with rising seas for centuries from now, even if we stop all greenhouse gas emissions from all fossil fuel use today. 420 million acres of tropical rainforest will be destroyed by the year 2030 and mostly replaced by livestock and crops to feed them. We have about 5 or 6 generally recognized categories of generations of humans living right now. The younger X, Y, and Z generations are over here at this end. The millennials are in there somewhere. I often can't find the millennials because they're too busy texting on their phones and playing with photos. all productive. And over at the far end, we have the greatest generation. And they've done so much for us, of course, but they're also the generation with their parents that unintentionally began the irreversible loss of our environment. So that leaves the 2 or 3 generations, or a combination of generations, in the middle. And we have a daunting task in front of us regarding this environment issue, don't we? To first realize that we're damaging our planet, and to what extent. I mean, that's the first big step. And then how to somehow fix it. When I step back and look at this, I see a picture of tremendous responsibility, opportunity of profound historical magnitude. My generation and the generation of our 3 adult children, those 2 or 3 generations in the middle that are in somewhat of a leadership position today, are in a unique situation to save Earth as we know it, save life on it now, and allow a livable future for those coming after us. Or we could ignore things, act like nothing's happening, or, hey, when we get around to it sometime, and allow it to continue on its current path to possibly be destroyed. What's really at stake here? The extinguishing of our species and thousands of other species. We can essentially make or break humanity. That could be at stake. And if you think that this is a wild overstatement, a gross exaggeration, or that this problem is entirely related to climate change, well, then that doubt, that skepticism and lack of awareness and lack of action all become part of the problem. So certainly something needs to change. What is it that we're doing to our environment? What needs to change? And importantly, how fast does this change need to take place? The answers to those questions are quite easy, I think. We need to stop those practices and habits that we administer every single day on a collective basis globally that create an unnecessary and proportionately large resource footprint, beginning with the largest footprint of all: food, what we eat, and our agricultural systems. It's a larger resource guzzler than anything else we do. It also happens to be the easiest to change. Well, okay, as compared to mandated global population control, the culling of other humans to get us down to the 3 billion mark as we were, say, in 1950. Yeah, let's see, you need to go. And actually the whole front row, we don't need you anymore. Out you go. Well, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Or the immediate elimination of all fossil fuel use, which isn't going to happen anytime soon. And you know what? Even if it did, it really wouldn't address a number of aspects of global depletion. So how quickly do we need to change our habits? our footprint. I can tell you this, it is not a time for baby steps. It requires big person steps because it needs to be done right now. It needs to be done today. We're on very real timelines.